welcome to Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. My name is Julie, and I'm here to impart some knowledge to you today via a 2-minute art tip. And today's tip is basically we're taking your viewer questions in another episode of Ask Julie. Yes, you can ask me questions. This isn't just a one-sided conversation here. So feel free to send questions in to our customer service area, or you can send your questions even on YouTube by making a comment and stuff like that. We recently just put it out there and asked some folks to send in their questions. And I'm going to take a couple of them today. So our first one is, how do you find time for your art? Well, my own stuff does take a back seat, but for me, I get paid to do art, so it's not really a fair, question. I do know that for people who maybe art isn't their first, kind of priority, and they have to make the bacon in other categories, they have to make their art a habit. They have to schedule it as a priority in order for it to get done. And I know that's very, very difficult, when you're talking about creativity and stuff like that. But once you make it a habit, some of the most successful artists that I know are, very, very deliberate about okay, we're making art today, and after I finish my breakfast, I'm going to my studio, and that's what I'm going to do. Taking my cup of coffee, and don't bother me. That is a very successful way to train your brain and train the other people in your life that this is important to you, and that this is a thing that you're going to be spending some time on. So just scheduling it and making the time available to yourself, even if it's just an hour, can be very, very transformative in the way that rolls out. And then also, if you can and you have the luxury of creating an environment and a space that's dedicated to that, that will also help, because everybody, the whole fam knows, hey, you're going to the thing, you're going to be doing the thing, don't bother you, and you will emerge when you're done. So just those two things alone can make a big difference in you, finding time for yourself once you kind of outline it, schedule it, and make it a priority. So the next question, how do you prevent paper buckling after the painting has dried and you've taken the tape off? So I guess you're removing it from your backer board or whatever. A couple of things first came to mind. Well, it might still be a little bit damp, and you're not totally aware of it when you're taking the tape off. So the best thing I can tell you to do is test it with the back of your hand. Test it, and if it feels cool to the touch, then you probably should just let it stay there for just a little bit longer. The other thing is that it may be in a more damp environment that you're storing it in. So maybe it is dry when you take it off, but maybe you're storing it in a place that has a little bit higher humidity than you thought, and therefore it's causing the cotton to reactivate, the paper to reactivate. It's picking up moisture and starting to buckle again. So I would advise, if you have a storage space where those finished paintings are going, that you put some silica gel packets in there. These are wonderful. They'll come in all kinds of products. You can also buy them online. These are a great way to keep the moisture level down when you're storing your stuff. I mean, granted, I wouldn't place them right on the surface or whatever, but it's easy to put them in the drawer or a box where your finished paintings are being stored until they're getting ready to be framed. The other thing I would suggest is that if you have a storage drawer or a flat storage area where your paintings are going after you've completed them, that maybe you look at putting a slip sheet of cardboard in there, and then something with a little bit of heft to hold it down to reduce that buckling as well. So those are a couple of tips that I would advise in that kind of scenario. And then the last one, what attracts you to choosing people as your subjects? Well, you know how You know, if you're doing a painting and stuff, people come up and they're like, "What's that? Is that a tree? Is that a boat?" You know, that drives me insane. You know, so I think that's one of the reasons that my work has kind of ended up being in this polarity where it's like it's really, really obvious what this is, or my abstracts where it's really, really obvious this isn't intended to be a thing of any kind. It's just pretty. It's not that I'm like overly bought into what people think. It's just that like humanity to me is very appealing, and then that human connection is interesting. And I really love that kind of transfixed look that people get, you know, when they look at a piece and they kind of connect with it, especially when it is a person, they get drawn in a completely different way than they do with like my other abstract pieces. And so they're kind of like two different modes of connection, but that one is very specific where they're relating to it with a resonance that's very, very different. So I just kind of always gravitate to that, and I just love it. I hope that this answers your questions effectively. I'm sorry we couldn't take more for this segment, but send them in. You know, maybe we'll just start doing some more Ask Julies on a more regular basis. We love to hear from you. We love your comments, and we are always curious about the questions that you have. So feel free, contact us. Let us know what you're thinking. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and hope that you enjoy.